Anti-mandate protesters are in day 10 of occupying Parliament's grounds, and as many more arrive on the daily, the issue of how to remove cars blocking the streets of Wellington has made little to no progress. News Talk ZB reporter Jack Crossland is on the ground in Wellington. Jack, police say they've made positive progress, but from what you've seen today, is that an accurate statement?
Well, yes, they've said that they've made positive progress, but from our perspective, and I'm sure it's the same for the members of the public, it's hard to really see what that progress is, because you walk down Molesworth Street, you go through Parliament grounds, Bunny Street, Hill Street, not a single car that's illegally parked really has moved. We did hear that 12 cars left yesterday voluntarily, but nothing has been towed, nothing has been moved by force as of yet. So it's really hard to see what this progress is. But they did say yesterday that this progress is in terms of discussions with some of the leaders of the protest and encouragement to go through them and then to the other protesters in terms of moving those cars from the streets. The police have been very clear. They don't want to stop people's legal right to protest here at Parliament's grounds, but they don't want the cars in the streets disrupting Wellingtonians. That's front of mind for the police. They want those cars out of here, but as of yet, we aren't seeing any change. Commissioner Andrew Costa said on Tuesday afternoon that time was running out and soon those cars will soon start to be towed, but it's now been a day and a half and we haven't seen anything, so it's hard to see how long this time frame is that's starting to shorten.
So there's been no real update then, I guess, on police plans or with the Defence Force potentially being involved?
No, absolutely not. I questioned them last night, yesterday afternoon rather, about their plans, whether the Defence Force has been called in. Some contact has been made, but there's been no firm plans that have been made as of yet. They've been very clear in the fact that this is going to be a work in progress. It's going to take time to get these cars and vehicles out of Molesworth Street, out of Bunny Street, and then to get the protest here at Parliament back to a legal state. They've said it's going to take time, it's going to be in stages, and people need to be patient.
So why do you think the cars themselves have been sort of that most urgent matter? Do you think police feel that if they get the cars out of there, the protesters will go with them?
I don't think that it's the thought that protesters will follow the cars. I think though it's just that over the 10 days we've seen this protest change slightly, we've seen the tone of it change and the attitudes of the protesters change. It's become a lot calmer, a lot more peaceful. Passerbys and members of the media, when they go inside now, they're greeted with far more friendly welcomes than they were, say, on the Thursday of last week. So I think that the concern now is more just the disruption to Wellingtonians and the disruption to Wellington. Once those cars are gone, I don't think there's any actual huge concerns about what's going on in Parliament's grounds other than the fact that they are camping here overnight. I think if the cars weren't here, if there weren't tents up at night time, I think that there wouldn't actually be a huge problem in terms of the legality of the protest. But the cars in the street, the tents here overnight, those aren't allowed to be happening. So those are front of mind for the police and the authorities.
Now I understand that you have spoken to a few protesters today, so has any of the messaging changed from them, or has it pretty much stayed the same?
No, the messaging hasn't changed much at all from the protesters' point of view. They're very clear in the fact that they are here for the long haul and they're only going to leave once the vaccine mandates are totally scrapped. So I don't think, however much encouragement comes from police, comes from protest leaders, I don't know if many protesters will actually leave. And when you walk around the streets now, the setups that people have got are extensive. You've got little alleyways, you've got massive food tents set up in Molesworth Street, toilets, washing areas. So it's hard to see why anyone would actually leave until they've got what they want. I don't think that anytime soon they're going to be rearranging their total living situation that they've established over 10 days just because they're being encouraged or having some discussions. I think it's going to take some solid results for them to see any kind of change here.
Thanks, Jack, for the update. That's News Talk ZB reporter Jack Crossland in Wellington. You can stay up to date with the protest at nzherald.co.nz and watch the live stream there on Facebook and YouTube with Focus Live.